And here we go. We are live with Newman Innovation, hopefully.
What's up, guys?
There we go. There's Cord. I hear him.
I'm trying to get the camera. It's loading on our end.
Take your time. Nothing but time on this end.
Using audio only.
Oh, it's
wait, I might have control of that. Hold on. Maybe I have control of that. Like I said, I'm not as versed at this as I.
Oh, there we go. It was me.
Do.
There you go.
There it is.
All
right, so we got cord wet sanding. You're using 80 grit, right? Like you did years ago?
Yeah, I use 80 and 36 as a finish.
One
it's
rock,
like the
two
Benjamin
rock,
Button of sanding. I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying 1 grit, 2 grit, right?
Exactly. Like I said, the Benjamin Button of sanding. You just go backwards to get younger.
Let's see. We lost the camera again.
There you go. I turned it so you can see you.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Well, you don't want to see me.
Yeah, well, if you get bored, you could always come sand. At least it's warm here, you know.
You can have that wet sanding and buffing. I used to do the aviation painting, and that's one thing I never really had to do. We just put that single stage clear on and walk away. I did very little cutting and buffing. That's something that I just cannot stand.
Yeah, it's either very cathartic or very maddening. There's no in between.
Yeah, but the payoff is the payoff at the end is definitely worth it. So.
That's true. That is true. Well, we've got a green cab and a green bed. We've got to do some airbrush work on the back of the bed because they want the old school Chevy logo. Okay. So we're going to airbrush that on there. And then we did the shaved door handles and all that stuff last night on the doors. And then I'll be painting them probably this weekend when the weather's better.
Is that a metallic? It's a metallic green, right?
Yeah, it's here. If you want to. See if I can find a clean spot up here, babe.
I know you said that was like a Honda color.
Yeah, it's
Can they see it? Because you have the camera.
There you go. Sorry.
For you more.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Well, once it's all sanded and buffed, it'll look a lot better. Right now, it's got orange peel in it, but we'll get all that knocked out.
Are you concerned about matching the color?
No, because I usually I hate to say that I'm good at it because then I'll eat my words.
That's all right, man. No, say it.
But yeah, I usually can do pretty well with candy colors and pearls, and I get pretty lucky at.
People want to know how you open the doors you have shaved handles.
Oh, you push a magical button.
Nope.
It's just like your key fob. Instead of when you hit unlock, it pops the door open, and then inside. Actually, I don't. Yeah, here, if we go around this way, we're about to start wiring this up tomorrow. That's the driver's side button.
They can't see the button.
Oop,
you can see their screen.
That's the driver's side button. And this is going to go under the seat right here. And then the passenger side button is going to run, opposite of that. So. And then we ran 85-pound poppers.
Nice.
So we should be able to get the doors open, no problem.
Somebody in Paul's
tape handles on an old Cadillac. I don't know. It was a DeVille convertible way back, 65, I think. I forget what it was, but it's a good look.
It is. It's a nice, and the truck kind of, the truck asks for it. It's all tubbed out. It's running a really fat, wild ass tire on it. I think it's a 33-22-20.
Wow.
And then it's all Foose wheels. So it's got that attitude. So it'll do good with that look. And then
what's in it as far as the motor? Because the last couple times I've seen you streaming it or videos, I haven't really picked up on the motor. Is that classified or is that?
No, it's 496 big block. It's about 550 horse. It's got a dyno sheet, and the dyno sheet on it is I think it's 554 at 6,100 or something. I don't remember, something like that. But it's just over 500 horse on the dyno sheet. But that's at the flywheel. It's not at the wheels.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I got to say, brother, that truck is looking sick in the background.
There's nothing left of it. It's all cut up.
That's so awesome, man. That thing looks wild. You got to go show us.
There's nothing left of it.
Yeah, but all the good stuff is there.
It's all cut up in here.
Is it the engine?
Yeah,
so you know the truck well enough. So this is where the engine, the back of the head comes to the back of the dashboard. Like this is where the dashboard's supposed to be.
Wow.
So it comes.
Wow.
So here's the firewall. It comes back about 12 inches into the truck, and then that's not accounting for the bell housing plus the transmission.
What are you running for a tranny in that?
It's over here. So the engine and transmission came out of a school bus.
He posted the tranny. It's metal.
Oh my Lord! What?
Yeah, that's an Eaton mid-range 6-speed. So
does it come with cup holders?
What are those?
Yeah, because that's going to be your center console.
Yep.
Well, we don't have cup holders, to be fair.
I had the doghouse. I had it in here, but since we're going at it again, I cut it all out and we're going to just do it all over again. That's why I was busting your chops on that cab. I need that cab because I want to make it a crew cab.
Dude, that thing is sick, bro.
So here's one option here.
Kicked off his. Him kicked off his.
This was the one that had the dump bed. I don't even know if you go back far enough. I'll have to tag you in the video. Did you ever see it dump? Did you see the videos of it dumping?
Oh, I did, because I went back and was looking through your, I was back there fishing, checking out your world.
Yeah. So that's kind of what that's about.
That is freaking sick, bro. That's amazing.
So, again, you know the truck well enough to know this was where the gas pedals used to be, the gas pedal and brake pedal steering column.
So you're just going to reach straight up to open the throttle? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, hand throttle.
Yeah, hand throttle. That's fine.
Why didn't I think of that? This is why we talk to people like you, right? Crazy people like you that come up with those great ideas.
What you need to do is just run that. You could run that Odyssey steering. Like, remember the Honda Odysseys? You can just run a Honda Odyssey steering wheel. You'd be fine. It's got the little throttle right on the fingers. I was actually thinking about maybe doing an electric column. Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know if they make them heavy enough for the truck, but I was thinking about doing like electric power steering, like the whole electric column with the power steering because of how much space. Well, I got to take the hood back off.
Isn't the new F-350 electronic steering?
It very well could be. I'm not sure.
Maybe because I was just looking at the specs on a F-550 because we got a build coming up for one of those.
Well, that's what that came out of. That came out of a 450 or 550.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Was it a two-wheel drive the whole time?
The truck that I got it out of, yeah. So
okay,
this truck was a two-wheel drive truck, yeah. But the axle that I got out of the 450 or 550 is a two-wheel drive. So one of the things I'm thinking about trying to do is I was trying to make a drop axle for this because I want to try to keep this with a solid front axle rather than the independent front suspension to keep it completely different than what's out there. But with how crazy this drop axle has to be, I don't know if it could be achieved safely. So I got to look into that.
I mean, it's nothing that a gusset and a welder won't fix.
Exactly. I like how you think. This is why we're friends, buddy.
Actually, here, let me show you something. I've got a 450 front end out front that we're putting under a 37 school bus because we're doing a whole conversion. Maybe you'll know offhand because I've got to cut the knuckles off of it and put you have a flashlight. Well, he may be able to see it. Let me see here. My phone is I never know where my stuff is at. Oh, I got it,
right? She knows where everything is.
She usually does. That's very true.
My wife does. Hey, honey, where's this? Oh, it's down here. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here I've got this. I've got a 450.
Okay, yours is 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. We're going to actually cut the knuckles off of it because he doesn't want a four-wheel drive, but it was the deal he got to get the motor, tranny, rear end, and everything. It was in the four-wheel drive truck, so
Okay.
he bought
It's
the whole
kind of
chassis.
funny. So what's really crazy is what you're talking about doing with the knuckles is something that I am considering doing with this, just because of how crazy the drop has to be.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, same thing.
it's not out of the question. That's one thing. While I was sitting here looking at it, I was like, well, what's going to keep me from cutting the knuckle off, having it machined back out, and then have a drop, like a drop being made for what I need. And then this way here, because the track width on this is a lot wider than the truck.
Right.
So I'm trying to weigh out the options of, do I cut the knuckles off, get a custom tube made up, narrow it in exactly like what you're talking about doing for the bus, because the 37, what kind of bus? An International or something?
It's Ford. It's a
A
37
Ford.
Ford school bus. Yeah.
So obviously those 30s era vehicles are always real narrow in the front.
Yep.
So you're
Yep.
doing the same damn near what I'm going to be winding up for this freaking thing.
So what I'm doing, because we don't want that bus to set up real high, we want it to set like your truck. We want it on the ground. And what I'm doing is taking 3/8 plate steel, and I'm cutting my drop beam, and then I'm taking 3/8 plate steel and laying it over the top. So I'm creating my own I-beam. But what I was doing to make it strong enough is I'm doing two pieces of the vertical plate that actually has the I-beam drop, and we'll stagger those front to back, and then I'm going to weld a little zigzag in there, and then when I cap those with the 3/8, that's going to be super thick, super strong. It ain't going anywhere.
I already know where you're at. All right, and that's kind of like similar. So here, check this out. I'm going to show you. This was my first go around with making the drop axle. Now this one was not the proper axle to use. This came out of a 3500 HD. This was actually the dropped forge I-beam axle. I need some of that too. Come on, man. But that's basically what I did. So check it out. So here is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So here is the original axle. Here's the drop I-beam here. So what I did was I took a piece of 2-inch solid bar. So this is a chunk of 2-inch solid bar that I went from one side to the other side.
Yep.
And then cut it out, and then basically bridged everything with plate on the front and the back. And then there's a chunk of 5/8 plate that's 3 inches wide underneath everything that goes, again, from left to right or right to left, however you're looking at it.
You know, that 5/8 looks good. I might go that thick just because it looks badass.
So it's doable, right? So everybody told me that this wasn't really doable. The nice thing is,
build stuff.
right? Yeah, it's very possible. And then I plated it. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it. I plated it on the front as well here, just to kind of tie everything together on the front and the back.
Dude, that is awesome, bro. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea that I had for doing that, because my buddy that wants me to build the bus, he owns a whole bunch of cars and he works with SEMA a lot, so he travels and does all these shows. But his wife had gotten cancer for the 5th time, and so she can't travel with him. So he decided to build a bus that was really cool. That way she'd be able to have a nice bed and a comfortable place to be while they travel together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's why we're building it. And then he wanted to do a round tube axle. And I told him, I said, man, if the minute we set this thing down in the front, I'm doing all air ride. And I'm like, if we set it down in the front, we got that tube axle, I've got to do all kinds of cuts. And yeah, I can grind it and weld it. And I just think I'm not going to like it. But to make it look like an old school I-beam, I wanted to go like build my own I-beam and make a really cool.
So with what you were just saying about the I-beam versus the axle tube, with how crazy this has to get done, I'd actually prefer welding on the axle tube versus the solid I-beam, because getting that hot enough And a lot of people were saying because of how that was forged, the forging material as far as iron is a little bit different than mild steel axle tube. So I actually feel much more comfortable, even though this is going to get pretty crazy. I feel much more comfortable welding on this than I do back there.
Well, that did it, babe. Yeah, that did it. Leave that light off. Sorry, we just got trying to get the glare off the camera screen. That's why. Right. That's why I'm gonna do probably the 3/8, and then I'm actually gonna build like a waffle pattern in between the two pieces of 3/8. That way, I have really good weld penetration. I've got real good strength. It won't be as far as weight goes, it won't be as heavy as a solid I-beam, but it should actually be either equally as strong or even maybe a little stronger. I do a lot of design stuff for my film industry, so I've been working with this idea now for I don't remember when we got the car, like October.
Oh yeah.
So basically, since October, I've been banging this thing around in my head, trying to figure out what to do with the side beam. But I think I'm going to end up at that, and if the tires fly off, I'll let you know that was a bad idea.
Same thing here. I'd be curious. When are you going to kind of start messing with that thing?
He's supposed to be coming down the 1st of April. It'll be a little while because they just finished her last treatment. So as soon as she feels up to it, they're going to come down and spend a month down here because normally I build cars and I don't really want a customer over my shoulder, but he's a big car builder and he's, a really, really dear friend. So it'll be fun having him in here and we'll get to build together.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
And we'll obviously we'll stay connected. This is what's cool about TikTok. So what I find fascinating about TikTok is the authenticity between the people. Like if you surround yourselves with like-minded people, this is what kind of happens, and this is what I want to try to do moving forward. Like I'm kind of new to this whole social media game, but I lost my job in March of last year. So I mean, I'm giving it a big swing and meeting people like you, like the knowledge, like the comment said, with the knowledge that you have. I mean, just the fact it's blows my mind, the fact that you're getting involved in basically, I mean, you practically have the same damn thing and are getting ready to do the same damn thing. So
that's sort of what I was thinking too. And where the way you're going with that truck, man, that thing is just gonna be wild, and that should bring so much attention to you.
I'm not afraid to jump into it, and if there's people that I can learn from, I did a dually project, and I actually see him jumping in there, leveled fabrication, Alan.
That's awesome.
Just like how I met you. He gave me tons of knowledge in suspension work when I was working on that dually project. So don't be surprised if I lean on you a little bit with that sheet metal work.
Dude, I'm down. I love anything I can do to help, and I'll be doing the same with you because I am. The thing about building stuff, I don't care if you build 1,000 cars or 2 cars. There's things certain guys know that other guys haven't figured out yet, and we all kind of end up on the same level no matter what. So it's
I agree.
It's just
like
part
I said,
of building.
that whole like-minded camaraderie. This is what the level ground for a lot of people. This is what we love to do. So.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree completely.
But this is a long road for me. This is definitely not a 1 month or 2 month build for me. This is something that's probably going to take at least a year. But like you said, my goal, so my childhood dream is to get a car or a truck or a build into SEMA. So maybe you can help me out with that just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so. We did a Rolls Royce years ago that was right at the front door of SEMA. And then I've had a few cars in there over the years. And then I was building off-road bumpers and four-wheel drive stuff and all that at my shop in Dubai. And then when I moved home, I had a big stand in SEMA for 2 years in a row. And I came home, they're like, oh, do you want to do it again? What's funny is my investor at the time was who always paid the bill. I didn't realize that it was a little expensive. So yeah. So the big thing about going to SEMA is making sure you've got somebody that's willing to sponsor it. So,
Right, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like I'm hopeful that through this entire process, hopefully I can get somebody to spark some interest with somebody and hopefully sponsor me and get me into the booth, or I don't know. We'll worry about that when it
have
comes
you
down to that point.
have you reached out to Gail Banks yet?
I have not, no.
Because
I
what
haven't.
you're
Well, see,
building
here's
is.
the thing. I don't really reach out to too many people.
Oh,
I
okay.
just do my thing. I stay in my little zone and kind of do my thing. But I'm getting better with that. That's something that I need to do more of. Is kind of being the one to poke the hornet's nest.
Yeah, you should, especially what you got a decent, you got a good follower and all that, list and all that. You should reach out to Gail Banks because that he's always down for cool stuff. He sponsors a friend of mine named Mike Ryan. That's another stunt guy, and they've got Mike's like I think 15 or 16 time champion Pikes Peak guy with a
Oh
diesel
wow.
truck. So yeah, he runs I think it's a Ford semi truck at Pikes Peak. So it's kind of an interesting fellow. But Gail
I don't know.
sponsors him.
Maybe I have to talk to Gail Banks and see what he can do with a Caterpillar 3116.
See that I mean, you laugh, but bro, Gail Banks is Banks Power. Yeah, it is Banks Power. Yep. Yeah, if you laugh, but I'm telling you, bro, your build is crazy and it's got the look of it's great, the stance is great.
Well,
You're heading down a good road. Dude, yeah, see that turbo you got is good, but a gigantic turbo that sticks out of the hood would be also very good.
oh geez. I've already had that commented plenty of times. Well, see, the only problem is I don't know what kind of power these can hold. These can't, that's not a Cummins, right? So the Caterpillar,
Right.
from what the research that I've done, generally has to stay in stock form, which is I'm okay. I want to be different. That's why there's a Caterpillar in there.
Well, yep, and someday it'll be a butterfly, which will be cool.
I, it, I'm with you. I'm with you. We're going to stretch it out, make it a crew cab. We're going to make it an 8-foot bed. We'll still do the dump. Whether or not we're going to do a tandem axle in the back, that's still up for debate. But right now, my big hurdle is what you see in front of me. So obviously, stay tuned for this.
Yeah, you know what, man? You've already got that other axle that you've done so much with. You've got a lot of trial and error over there, so I think that'll go real well for you. And I mean, I don't think you're going to have a problem. And dude, I can't say enough about how much I love that truck. I love the Caterpillar motor. I love the setup. I love the stance.
Yeah,
And a crew cab with a dump bed. Holy
I'm a
cow.
big fan of it.
Yeah,
And there'll be
well,
a
me
lot.
too.
There'll be a lot more over the course of some time. You'll see some big changes happening.
What are you going to do as far as the color goes? Are you doing the
I would like to do so from the begin. So from the beginning, it was going to be like a patina build, but as it progressed and I spent more money and then started getting more and more custom things done to it, it kind of evolved like a project does. Now I would like to see it go into like I kind of associate it like a tuxedo. I would like to do like a pearl white, like a Cadillac pearl white with some
Yep.
black, like gloss black, maybe two-tone it, kind of make it
Dude,
like a
that's
white
sick.
tuxedo, something like that. I don't know whether or not we're going to do gloss black wheels or polished wheels. Again, there's so many details. I have a vision of what I want, but it constantly keeps changing. So obviously you saw what it was, right? Like it's kind of crazy that I have a full rolling chassis here. I have the bed sitting behind me. Like there's already a ton of work and money spent for me to just say, you know what, just start over and do it again because I'm not happy and I want to make some changes. So as far
Sounds
as
like
where
you.
it's headed this time, I don't know. You're both laughing because you're both like, yeah, we've been there, we've done that.
she
Yep, yep.
she's like, it sounds like you, and I'm like, yeah, that's I understand. So my ADD has a hard time building my own vehicle. I can build a customer car, no problem, because they come in, we agree to what we're doing, I'll knock it
Exactly.
out. But every
Exactly.
time I get online or I open a magazine or I watch a show and I'm like, oh my God.
No,
Yeah,
not
we
true.
can't.
Not true.
So
Our
this will
customers
probably
pay for one thing, they get more back
Well, that's kind of true too.
every time.
but that happens with me too. I can relate well on both aspects.
Dave's
And
like,
I'll
babe,
just say right
this
now,
needed to be done.
yeah, this might be the only time that we live stream. We might just have to end this friendship now. This might not be a good combination. I'm just saying.
Because we'll all be poor. They'll be like, look, man, so we still got our car, we just don't have a house.
Right? Right? But that's what this is about. That's what I'm about. It was a pleasure to talk to both of you and see both of you finally.
Yeah, brother, thank you.
And I'm sure it will be, but is it okay if I chop this up and post this up in content?
Yeah, do whatever you want. No problem at all. And
Cool.
by the way, if you ever need any help with anything at all, ever, never hesitate to call. And we've also got a big, huge powder coating booth. So if you need anything powder coated, we can knock it out for you.
I appreciate that. Actually, now that you ask, right? Now that you say that, what is the capability of that bender that you got? What can that bend?
Which one? I've got a big roller, and then I've got a RDB 250.
That RDB 250. I don't know. What's the biggest? Can you bend 3.5-inch tube?
I can bend 3-inch Schedule 80.
A Schedule 80. What's that? Quarter inch?
Yeah, it's about this. About the size of my emotional stability.
Well, mine's about the same.
Yeah. I politely call it my emotional stability. But
right.
yeah, dude, I can do 3-inch, 3.5. I can't. My roller, but that doesn't help you on a dropped axle because the roller just makes a gradual bend. But I can do 4-inch Schedule 80 on the roller.
Schedule 40 is a 1/4 inch.
Oh, Schedule 40 is. Hey, thank you for chiming in because I've been building this stuff my whole life, but I've never actually measured that. So that's awesome that they just said that.
There you go.
Thank you
yeah,
very
there you
much.
go. Yep. Let's see.
This
I
is
feel
why
bad.
I like the live streams too, because people jump on and they're just really cool about, oh, it's this. Oh, thank you.
Does it bend tube or pipe? Both.
Both. I have both dies for tube and pipe. Well, I have
so
actually.
That's one aspect. Sometimes I don't normally live stream with people because I always feel like it kind of takes away from the people in the chat. But generally, like this is a great chat between everybody. So
we have the green is for tube, and then the blue is for pipe, and then the gray is for square tube. So whatever you want to bend, it's no problem. We can duct tape everything.
Hey, I'm a fan. I've had a few duct tape wallets, so I know they hold up. So we're good.
Hey, brother, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and have a great build.
Thank you. You got to go back to wet sanding, and she's got to go back to reading some comments.
Exactly. That's what we're doing.
Be safe.
Peace out.
We're going live. Have a good night.
Well, that was fun. So hopefully you all enjoyed that just as much as I did. That was Newman Innovation down in Florida. After you're done watching this, I'm going to wrap it up here tonight. You all need to go follow Newman Innovation. That's about as good as TV will ever get. And I can promise you we will be live with them again. So they are a great group of people, lots of knowledge. For those of you who are watching me here tonight, go Google Cord Newman. He was in a couple movies. Don't take my word for it, take Google's word for it. And with that, my name is Paul Michael. This has been Challenge to Build. Mitch says, I got your logo in a disc golf video. Did you tag me? Mitch, I wasn't sure if you were still here. I'm glad you chimed in. Tandem fenders is a possibility. Disc golf. You got me curious about that. You got my number, man. Send me a text message. Talk to me. Email me. Whatever you want. So that was a great way to end the night. Here we are. We got the axle after talking to him. All right, well, tag me in it when you drop it. Cool, man. We got the axle out. Now that we talked to Cord and what he's doing, I think it's interesting to see the fact that he's going to get involved in something similar with his project. So keep watching. keep building. I've challenged my build tonight. You all need to go challenge your build. It's okay. We're good. It's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. You got to do more than that to hurt my feelings. Go live. I'm going to go clean up. I'll probably jump in just to watch him wet sand because I hate doing it. And I'm done. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Don't mind me just happened, Justin. Hopefully you have a better day tomorrow. And with that, that's it. I'm done. I got some editing to do anyway. So, love y'all. God bless. And have a good night.